Ford stands tall as one of the most respected names in the automotive world, and when it comes to pickup trucks, nobody even comes close. But where Ford really shows its dominance is under the hood. The company's latest engine isn't just powerful, it's a mechanical beast that's leaving rival manufacturers in the dust. Ford has built some truly iconic engines over the years, many of which are still worshipped by gearheads and enthusiasts. But this newest creation, it's something else entirely. So, what exactly makes this engine so special, and why is it making waves across the entire auto industry? Let's dive in. The engine is the heart and soul of any vehicle. Without it, a car is just a shell, lifeless and still. A well-engineered powertrain can turn an average model into a legend, which is why automakers put so much time and effort into getting it just right. And when it comes to legendary beginnings, Ford's story is as unique as they come. Believe it or not, the roots of this global automotive powerhouse trace back to a small apartment kitchen in Detroit. At 58 Bagley Avenue, Clara Ford ran the household, and her kitchen became the birthplace of history. While her husband, the visionary Henry Ford, cranked the flywheel and sparked the ignition, Clara carefully dropped fuel into the intake valve, one drip at a time. Then it happened. That hand-built, bare-bones engine coughed to life right there above the kitchen sink. In that moment, Henry Ford's dream took its first breath, and the journey that would change the auto industry forever had officially begun. That primitive motor was made from simple black iron tubing, drilled and shaped by hand to fit a piston barely an inch wide. It wasn't pretty, but it worked. And it sparked a legacy that would define performance for generations. The flywheel starting handle was connected by a straightforward rod and crank setup. The final component came from standard hardware and plumbing supply stores. The engine has been recreated by generations of home craftsmen as a building project, and if you want to try it yourself, plans are accessible online. Ford, however, has decided not to publish the plans for the terrifying Godzilla engine online. It is rare for a major O manufacturer to release an entirely new V8 engine, much less one that drives performance fanatics insane. But the Ford motor company did just that when it unveiled the brand new Godzilla 7.3L gasoline V8. The powerful V8 engine designed for Super Duty vehicles generates best-in-class torque of 475 foot-pounds at 4,000 revolutions per minute and 430 horsepower at 5,500 revolutions per minute. The most intriguing aspect of this release was how Ford essentially abandoned the modular or Coyote platform it had been working on for more than 2 decades in favor of a cam in block design with pushrods and wedge style heads. The most current Ford gasoline-powered pushrod V8 was a 302 with 210 horsepower, found in the 2001 Explorer. In fact, the company hadn't made a pushrod V8 engine for exactly 20 years. The 445 cubic inch new pushrod engine is not intended for the 2021 Mustang, but it is available as a crate engine for swaps or custom builds through Ford Performance, and the aftermarket is starting to respond with performance accessories. The Godzilla engine, a heavy-duty engine that is potent, enduring, and reasonably priced to manufacture and operate, was initially conceived as an option for the F-250 and other Super Duty versions. But the same characteristics that make it a potent truck engine also thrill hot rod enthusiasts. In one instance, the engine produced nearly 700 horsepower when operated normally and 1,450 horsepower when operated with a supercharger. Ford actually made an effort to create something that could be thrown into a pickup truck or heavy-duty vehicle, and it was successful. Homeowners who own motors and dump trucks are additional groups that favor using the engine. Ford also aimed for simple maintenance and lower costs. It applied what it had learned about engine design to this power plant. It was created by the same designer who worked on the Shelby GT350's 522L and 5L intake ports. It's a brand new, uncompromised design made to be extremely durable. The revised Ford Coyote V8, which offered superior performance and economy to its predecessors, serves as the foundation for the Predator. With the original Ford 5.0 Coyote block, it uses an improved version but with stronger heads, pistons, crankshafts, and other parts made to tolerate high cylinder pressures. The Ford Predator V8 was created to be fitted in a range of Ford Mustangs with both manual and automatic transmissions. It has many components in common with other contemporary American performance engines, outperforming the 5.2L Voodoo V8 engine and the preceding GT500 by more than 134 horsepower. The naturally aspirated flat-plane Voodoo V8 in the GT350 had a cross-plane crank, whereas the 5.2L supercharged engine does not. This indicates that the firing order is set up around a hypothetical plane that bisects the engine rather than being dispersed in a line as in a regular Vate. The end result is a significantly stronger crank that can handle more power and increase torque at both low and high RPM power delivery. The GT350 lacked the characteristic Vate rumbling and engine noise that we all fell in love with in the 1980s, which is also provided by the crossplane crank. The solid block construction of the Predator Vate engine minimizes weight while boosting overall strength. In addition, the 5.2L engine's forged internals increase durability compared to competing engines and enable it to manage greater horsepower and torque. The Predator's two overhead camshafts, which are lighter than a single overhead camshaft design, increase airflow through the cylinder heads. The new Ford 5.8L aluminum cylinder head aids in weight reduction and improves cooling performance. A specifically created intake manifold with two throttle bodies is also added for better performance. The Coyote engine is no longer naturally aspirated, which distinguishes it from earlier iterations. Indeed, the era of wholly naturally aspirated engines is over due to the fact that even the Mustang now has a noisy supercharger. This may take away from the crossplane crank, the AT's magnificent output, but it takes more than that to make up for the excellent performance and a ton of horsepower and torque. Ford's relentless pursuit of power and efficiency shows no signs of slowing down. With the Godzilla and Predator engines setting new benchmarks, enthusiasts are left wondering, what's next? The automotive industry is rapidly evolving with electrification, but Ford has made it clear that internal combustion still has a place in their performance lineup. The company's recent patents suggest they're working on even more advanced engine technologies, potentially including hybrid Vate systems that combine electric power with traditional combustion. What makes Ford's current engine lineup so remarkable isn't just the raw numbers, it's the philosophy behind them. In an era where many manufacturers are downsizing engines or moving entirely to forced induction, Ford has doubled down on big displacement and simple, robust designs. The Godzilla proves that pushrod technology still has merit, especially for heavy-duty applications. Meanwhile, the Predator shows how far overhead cam designs can be pushed with proper engine. Both engines represent different solutions to the same problem, delivering massive power reliably. One of the most exciting aspects of these new Ford engines is their aftermarket support. Unlike some modern power plants that are sealed units or require proprietary tuning tools, Ford Performance has embraced the hot rodding community. The availability of these engines as crate motors means we're already seeing them swapped into everything from classic Mustangs to off-road trucks. Early tuners are reporting that both the Godzilla and Predator respond exceptionally well to modifications, with the Godzilla particularly impressing in boosted applications. No discussion of Ford's V8s would be complete without mentioning their signature sound. The crossplane crank design gives these engines that classic American Vate rumble that enthusiasts crave. Ford's engineers have paid special attention to the exhaust tuning, ensuring that even with modern emissions equipment, these engines produce an intoxicating soundtrack. The Predator supercharger whine adds another layer to the auditory experience, creating what many are calling the perfect muscle car symphony. While pushing boundaries in performance, Ford hasn't forgotten about durability. The Godzilla's iron block and simple valve train make it nearly bulletproof for truck applications. The Predator, while more complex, benefits from lessons learned in endurance racing. Both engines feature improved cooling systems and high-quality bearings that should provide long service life if properly maintained. It's worth noting that while these engines can handle incredible power, reaching the upper limits of their potential will always require supporting modifications and careful Ford's recent engine developments have certainly gotten attention from rival manufacturers. Chevrolet has countered with updates to their LT series, while Dodge continues to refine the Hellcat platform. However, what sets Ford apart is their dual approach, offering both modern overhead cam and traditional pushrod designs to suit different applications. This flexibility gives them an advantage in everything from work trucks to track-focused sports cars. Whether you're a die-hard Ford enthusiast or just appreciate great engineering, there's no denying the impact of these engines. They represent a perfect blend of old-school thinking and modern technology, proving that even in an age of electrification, there's still magic to be found in a well-built Vate type. The Godzilla and Predator engines aren't just power plants, they're statements about what Ford stands for in the performance world. Which of these incredible engines speaks to you? Are you drawn to the brutal simplicity of the Godzilla? Or does the high-tech Predator get your heart racing? One thing's for certain, the future of Ford Performance has never looked brighter. How, therefore, did the engineers manage to rev the Voodoo Vate without blowing it up? They were able to safely increase the boost by lowering the compression rate for this engine from 12.1 to 9.51. By reducing the compression and utilizing the crossplane crank, they're able to prevent detonation and cylinder failure caused by the cylinders being overpressurized. They can do much more to boost the engine now that they have the new crossplane crank. An Edelbrock TVS Re 2650 supercharger, which produces 760 horsepower or more, is connected to these engines. Ford engineers have been working relentlessly for years to produce the most durable engines available, and the result is the Predator. In fact, they're constructed so well that it will be very difficult to destroy one when using it normally. Which of these engines interests you the most?